Hello, everyone, and welcome to the download from 24 IT Services. We've got another brilliant show lined up for you today. We do have a fill-in for our guests today. Tony, who was supposed to be joining us, unfortunately had a meeting that popped up last minute that he couldn't get out of. However, I best switch over to my new co-host for today because we have got Stacey Eaves from the National Grassroots Sports Show. Thank you very much,
Hello.
Stacey, for filling in this last minute. Really sorry to ask so last minute for people to fill in. How are you
I'll
doing
let you
today?
off. Thanks for having me. I'm good, thank you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's been a busy
Good.
week. It's been a busy week. We'll get into that, but yes, it's been a busy week.
Yes, I hear you. Us marketing lot don't stop, do we?
Yeah, it's like one thing after another at the moment, but it's all really, really good, which does lead into our very first news topic for today. It's, of course, we're the headline sponsor for the headline for the oh Doncaster Business Awards. I can't even get the words out of my mouth today.
You're that
So
excited.
yeah, it's such a great thing to be able to be. So yes, 24 IT Services headline sponsor for the 2025 Doncaster Business Awards. Really great opportunities for us to be able to celebrate the amazing achievements of businesses throughout the local region on, well, the biggest stage of them all, really. Anyone who tuned into the show yesterday, there was a little bit of echoing, but I was speaking with Emma from Doncaster Chamber yesterday, where we spoke about the business awards in general as well, and how it's like the biggest one in the local region. It's like twice the size of other local business awards. Absolutely brilliant. Not only that, as well, we're also sponsoring the Large Business of the Year award this year, which is a great opportunity to celebrate other local enterprises that have called Doncaster their home, and also for Mike, our MD, to get up on stage in his kilt, just because I keep having to say that. I'm sorry, Mike. We do keep joking about it, but it's going to be great to be able to get the entire team out there this year to be able to celebrate with everyone. Stacey, have you been to the Business Awards before?
I love the business awards. And like you say, Doncaster is the biggest one.
Yeah.
And it's just such a great event. It's nice to get dressed up and
Yes.
to see everyone else in the glad rags as well. But it's also, it's to celebrate Doncaster. And why shouldn't we be celebrating Doncaster? There's so many amazing businesses.
Exactly.
And it's really putting sort of Yorkshire on the map really, and we're doing ourselves proud.
Exactly. It's great to be able to see the really amazing accomplishments of so many
Yeah,
local people and businesses. Not, we've got to remember as well that people like the apprentices that are involved in the award as well, and the great work that they're doing. I love going to these events and I love being a part of them. I mean,
yeah, they're
I
really
only
good.
went to my very first business awards 2 years ago. No, three. It'll be coming up on 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And before that, I would have just been following them on social media, like FOMO, real FOMO, like being like, I want to be involved in them, sort of thing. But I've been like posting congratulations to people, but now I get to be a part of them. And not only that,
Yeah,
headline sponsor as well. It'd be
it
really
doesn't get
good.
any better.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better, does it? I mean, I had sort of like you say FOMO. I attended my first one last year, which to say I've always worked in Doncaster and worked for some sort of big businesses. It
Yeah.
was, yeah, I've always wanted to go, and it was great to get me dress on and do a bit of networking and catch up with people that I've probably not seen for a couple of years, but also see people that I previously worked with.
Yeah.
I think it's just a great bit of a shindig, but it's great to celebrate, the best of the
Exactly.
best in Doncaster. Yeah.
Exactly. Are you hoping to be able to go this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we've got our own show which we're going to talk about a little bit
Yes.
later. So I think by the time it comes to December,
You'll be
I'll
getting
be I'll
ready
be
for a
more than
couple of
ready for
drinks.
a do. Yeah.
And of course, like you say, it's good to be able to go out with people from across the local region as well. I mean, I know that for those that aren't aware, you're really active in the local marketing community as well, and you've got lots of connections throughout the local business community, whether it's with people over at Club Doncaster, for example, because I know you're really into your football scene and stuff like that. So, like, it's really good to go out and spend time with those people as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think you learn a lot about people outside of the office environment.
Yeah,
And you can I've done a lot sort of more business at, events like the Chamber Awards and things like that because
yeah,
you're more relaxed and
yeah,
it's more personable. So it's yeah, like I say, the Chamber Awards and events like that are just great for business in general and for the networking side of
yeah.
things. So it's yeah. bring it on.
Really, really good. People keep telling me, though, I need to find a way to wear a hat to the business awards because, of course,
You do.
I'm
I wonder
known
if
for
you
my
could put a bit of a
hats.
fascinator or something on it, to
I'm
jazz
sure
it
my
up a little
wife
bit.
would love
I
that,
might do
like some sort of like flower or
yeah,
something here.
bit of extraness.
Yeah. Someone
I
said to
can
me
do some
like a
research.
top hat or like a
Yeah,
formal Stetson or something like that. Like I'm not
love
sure if I
that.
can pull off a Stetson, but
To be fair, Rachel, I think you could pull off anything, mate. To be fair, I think you could do it. You could be a trendsetter.
well, if people can go in kilts, I can go in a Stetson. That's my excuse, and I'm
Exactly.
sticking with it.
Exactly. Love that.
Let's go on to our second news story for the week, which seems to be the news story that I keep coming back to in these shows, which is the ongoing situation and fallout from the M&S cyber attack. I'm not sure how much you've been following this, but let's cover the latest developments. So, yesterday, nearly 2 months after the start of the attack, this has been going on forever, M&S finally started to open up its online ordering for the first time, starting with fashion items such as clothing and footwear, primarily in England, Scotland, and Wales. With Northern Ireland and things like Click and Collect going to be resuming in the coming weeks, as well as more items also being made available for home delivery. This has been a long time coming, but additionally, we've also now received reports that on April 23rd, the actual cyber criminals, the hackers, had actually reached out to Stuart Machin, the CEO of M&S, gloating about the attack, saying, "We've marched the waves from China all the way to the UK and have mercilessly raped your company and encrypted all of the servers. The dragon wants to speak to you, so please be heard and head over to the..." And then they gave the link to the dark website that they wanted them to go to. The dragon in this case actually refers to Dragon Force, which industry professionals have actually indicated are linked with Scattered Spider, the two groups associated with this and the Co-op cyber attack. Through this, the hacking group have then proceeded to demand ransom payment from M&S and also from the other people that they targeted. However, it's not been confirmed if any of the businesses involved have actually paid these ransoms. We do, however, know that M&S has lost, about 1 billion in market value and then 300 million off of their annual profits for this year as well, which absolutely massive numbers, regardless of whether they've paid a ransomware attack or not.
Yeah.
It's I mean, have you been following much of the M&S attack, Stacey?
I have obviously, yeah, it's been in the news. It's been everywhere, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I probably followed the Co-op one a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I believe it's like you say, they're linked.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that businesses of that size are falling for hackers and things like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What does it say about smaller businesses and how they
Exactly.
can protect themselves? It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we were speaking about this a few weeks ago where both M&S and Co-op have both said, yes, we had incident response plans in place, but
Mm.
it makes you wonder, how thorough were those incident response plans? Were they thinking, okay, if we got hit with a ransomware attack, how long before we could get back up and running? Did they anticipate 2 months following an attack that only just then would they be able to resume online ordering? It's like,
Mm.
it's mad. And it does make you
Yeah.
think, especially with, I think the statistic is that last year 67% of the businesses who were targeted in cyber attacks in the UK were small to medium sized businesses. So the
Mm.
majority of businesses in the UK were the people that were targeted by cyber attacks.
Yeah.
Like, do these smaller businesses have the right solutions and processes in place to not only protect themselves from an attack like this, but also recover from it in the long term as well?
Yeah.
It's,
It's scary.
yeah, it is scary. I mean, do you think that, I mean, I don't know where you shop actually, Stacey, but do you think if it was Tesco or Asda or somewhere where you shop that
Mhm.
had been targeted in this sort of attack, do you think that that would then affect your shopping habits, that you maybe don't feel that your data is secure anymore, or maybe just you can't get home delivery? Okay, well, I'm going to go to somewhere else instead. Do you think that
Mm.
would change your shopping habits long term?
Yeah, I think it'd be natural just to worry.
Yeah.
I've got two little girls and I order things for them online, and it I keep saying it's scary, but it is scary because ultimately we don't know where our data's going. We're
No.
putting our trust in these big businesses, and we're signing up to X, Y, and Z, whether it be the club card or,
Yeah.
you know, more points or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
it's not 100% safe anywhere, I don't think. And
No. And also the
that's
data that these people are holding, like your shopping habits, even like if a
exactly,
cyber
yeah,
criminal knows, oh, you're regularly buying, I don't know, a certain brand of wine or something like that, are they then going to start reaching? Sorry, I had to use the wine
I love how
example.
you go straight for the wine, AJ. It could have
But
been anything, but
it,
no, let's go for wine. It's
yeah,
safe. Let's go
it,
wine.
but it makes you think like, okay, well, could these cyber criminals then use that type of data to be able to then specifically target you as a person and be like, okay,
Yeah.
well, this person buys this particular brand of wine. Oh, let's send them this offer, which
Hmm.
then has got this link that takes them to a website that looks like
Yeah.
the supermarket that they shop at and say, oh,
Yeah.
click here to be able to redeem a free offer on this X wine or something like that. It's like,
Yeah.
it could be really, really targeted and really dangerous for people who don't know what to look for or don't. If it's a person, most individual people, like the regular everyday consumers, they don't have the right solutions in place to be able to protect themselves like many businesses might do.
Yeah, and I mean, businesses like, the people, the ransomware and the hackers and things, they're really clever
Yeah,
and they make everything look so professional and real and almost
yeah,
like for like. And you put your trust in them and you think, oh, yeah, that's come from Tesco. That's brilliant. Oh,
exactly.
that's an amazing offer. Let's sign up for that. And by the time you think, oh, actually, it's too late.
Yeah, I mean there was
And
a
they can,
really and this kind of comes on to a topic that I will cover a little bit later and was actually a topic for next week as well, although I'll come back to why there won't be a show this next week. But it goes back to a attack that I saw this last year where a big YouTube channel, so Linus Tech
mm,
Tips, big tech YouTube channel, their CEO Linus had been having a family barbecue. He'd received an email that looked like it was from X or Twitter, depending
mm,
on how people are referring to it nowadays, um, saying, "Oh, someone's accessed your account. If this wasn't you, reset your password now. Click on," and it looked
mm,
like it was from X. Clicked
yeah.
on the link, followed, and this is a guy that like knows his tech, knows his cybersecurity, but he was distracted. He was focusing on something else. All of a sudden, you get this email from X. It's like, oh, yeah, I best deal with that now. You're not thinking about anything else at the time. You're like, okay, well, I need to get on that now. And you click the link, you reset your password. Before you know it, cyber criminals are in your social media account and
Yeah.
taking over and then sharing malicious things out to your platform as well. I mean, can you imagine if
Mhm.
your LinkedIn, for example, got hacked and people started sharing things through your LinkedIn? I mean, you've got probably
Mhm.
a larger audience than I have, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't keep count every day,
No.
but I have got a decent following on LinkedIn, across all the other platforms as well, and it would be detrimental, to
Yeah.
to myself and obviously the business that I work on behalf of,
Yeah.
if emails are being sent or social media posts were getting sent out or even emails are being sent on the back of data that's been found through the social platforms. it would it could cost my job. It could, it could cost the show. It's
It could,
everything.
yeah.
It's yeah.
And
I
it's that
keep saying it's
larger
scary, but it
impact
really, really is.
that
Yeah.
is going to be felt for in the case of M&S and Co-op and people like
Yeah,
that.
months and months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be more than a year before they start to fully recover from this, even just with
Yes.
brand loyalty.
Exactly. The other side of things, I think, is, if, like, for instance, M&S and Co-op, you'd like to think that following the hacking, that they would put sort of more security measures in place
Yeah,
going forward. So maybe in a roundabout backwards way,
yeah.
people might have more trust in them going forward because they're going to think, oh, they're not going to let that happen again.
You would hope.
Who knows? So yeah,
We will have to wait and see on that
we
one.
will. We will.
But let's move on to the next story. And this is kind of going back to our headline and thumbnail topic for today, which is
Yeah.
Apple earlier this week talked about their new software, which is coming to the iPhones and the Apple Watches and iPads, Macs, visionOS for anyone who's got a Vision Pro out there. Firstly, with starting that they're renaming the software to align the version number with the year ahead that it's going to be used for. Sounds strange, I know, but we would have been having, in terms of iPhone, iOS 19 this year. But now it's going to be iOS 26 to signify going into 2026, and that's going to be across all of the different platforms. So visionOS, rather than being 2 or 3, I'm not really keeping track of visionOS because I don't have an Apple Vision Pro. That would be good though. Anyone feels like sending me one, please feel free to. But anyway, beside the point. So visionOS will now be visionOS 26 to align with the year ahead. And the big change this year is going to be visual. There's lots of under the hood and extra changes, but they're now featuring this new liquid glass design that's meant to look like multiple layers of glass on top of the system, so that when you move your phone, it'll catch different light and different things like that. And it's just going to have this new unified look across all the platforms, whether it's iPhone, whether it's Apple Watch, whether it's visionOS, macOS, and things like that as well. It's going to look very similar and have this new unified design. But additionally, we're going to have new things such as a new clock interface on the home screen, which is going to allow people to focus more on their photos. So, like, I mean, you'll probably be the same as me. Like, I've got a photo of my family on my lock screen. My clock's
me too.
tiny at the top, but now it's going to take much more room. It's going to understand the layers of who's in those photos and different things like that as well, and be able to much more prominently feature people's iconic photos that they want to be able to have and represent who they are on their home screen. But we're also getting things like call screening. So if you get a call from an unknown number, it will automatically pick it up for you and be able to like ask who you are and like what business is calling or what person is calling. And you can then look at your phone and see a translation of this to be able to say, oh, do I want to pick that up? No, it's a scam call. I don't want to get that right now, sort of thing.
Cool.
So, and this is something that's been on a few Android phones actually for a couple of years now. But it's good to see that some of these features are making their way Appleified into iOS going forward as well. But we're also getting hold assist as well, which it'd have been useful for me earlier this year when like I was on the phone to like our insurance provider for our car when my wife got involved in a hit and run, unfortunately. But I was on the phone a lot of the time to people and being placed on hold, and hold assist, being able to have your phone just hold your place in a queue and then notify you when you could just pick up the phone again so you could just get on with stuff, would have been really useful. So it's good to see features like that coming. But one of the things that I really like is the new live translation that's coming to iOS. Now, this is going to be built into just the Messages app and also into FaceTime. So if you're, I don't know, say for example, if as part of the National Grassroots Sports Show, you're maybe speaking with people in Europe, for example, if you have a FaceTime call with these people, it will actually be able to audibly live translate with the people that you're on a video call with. So you'll be able to speak in English and it'll translate that to French or Spanish or whatever nationality that you're like speaking with someone in. And then on the other side, it will automatically translate for them as well. So really, really interesting. It'll do the same in Messages as well.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Another thing, we're getting things like WhatsApp style image backgrounds in Messages, image playgrounds getting ChatGPT image generation integration. Apple Music lyrics will also get translation and even pronunciation for foreign tracks and stuff like that. Auto remixing that will act like a DJ on your phone to be able to blend songs together to match the beats. I mean, I would probably use something like this, but my wife's a bit of a purist. She would prefer to listen very start to the very end of a song. I know we were speaking before that you don't really listen to a lot of music through your phone, do you? But you'll probably listen to music like on the radio or on the computer or something like that. So it depends on whether this is something that
might be something I have to look into. Yeah.
But one thing that you would probably find useful, because I know that you're very much into your sport, is that for Apple Watch workouts is getting a new AI-powered workout buddy that will link in with workouts and your Apple Watch to be able to coach you through a run or a bike ride and different things. It's going to expand to more sports over the coming year, but it will be able to understand like your pattern of exercise and be able to provide music that it thinks will motivate you and be able to say like when you're partway through, oh, you've done this much so far, keep going, like you're almost at your like weekly record or something like that. So it'll be really interesting to see. Since I had my heart surgery, I've not really done a lot of sport, but it'll be interesting to see how people use that sort of feature as well.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. That sounds cool. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
yeah. visionOS as well for the Vision Pro, like I say, is getting things like real world widgets. So you can put on the headset and you can have like a clock embedded into your wall or an image or like sports scores, or like it will remember them in real space, but in the
Mm.
virtual environment. And it looks really, really good. And there's also the new persona feature, which recreates a virtual version of your face for things like FaceTime calls and things like that, and that's actually gained a lot of improvements as well.
Yeah.
macOS is also getting the new liquid glass design, as well as, and this is something that I really like. So, live activities, so like monitoring for a flight or for Uber Eats or whatever you use live activity. I see a lot of like sports scores for baseball and stuff come up on this, but it can mirror now what is on your phone for a live activity on Mac OS. So you'll just get a
Okay.
notification in the menu bar and you can click on it to be able to see more information. And if you click on the actual live activity, it opens up your phone virtually on the Mac and you can interact with it.
Mm.
Really, really cool. Um,
Yeah, that's good.
and then for tvOS for Apple TV, I don't know whether you know much about Apple TV, but that's getting a new karaoke input, which will link to iPhones. Now, my kids would probably love something like this, like
Yeah,
loading
I
up,
was just
like,
thinking of mine as well.
yeah, like Taylor Swift or something on the TV, using the phones to be
Yeah.
able to like sing into it and stuff like that. Looks
Mm.
really, really good. Not just my kids though, but Tony, our CTO, any of our company socials, he will be the first one to suggest, let's try and find a karaoke bar. So he would love something like
I
this. I can
love
just
that.
imagine us getting a like an Apple TV in the office and him just like at the end of a working day, come
Let's
on.
get a booth.
Exactly. Exactly. So he would love something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's loads of different changes coming to iOS, Mac OS, iPhone OS, Watch, and stuff over the coming year. That'll probably be released
Hmm.
September, October sort of time, towards the end of this year.
Hmm.
What out of these new features do you think you would find the most useful, especially with iPhone, for example? I know, like myself,
Yeah,
you're an iPhone user. What do you
I
think that
am.
you would find the
Yeah.
most use out of?
I think the sports angle really, in terms of sort of the getting the extra oomph and the extra push from a
Yeah.
almost like a a little assistant really, in
Yeah,
terms
it
of
is.
pushing me to the next level, and the keeping fit side of things. I think the karaoke sounds really
Yeah.
cool. But I think I'm I'm not a technophobe because obviously I work in digital marketing. I have
Yeah.
to be up with it, but I think there's a lot of things that you mentioned there that I potentially need to look into, because I think a lot of that could sort of aid my role going
Yeah.
forward as well. And sort of the ways that we communicate and sort of spreading the word about different bits and bobs in terms of marketing. I think
Yeah.
there's quite a lot there that we could utilize going forward. So I'll be interested to see when it all sort of rolls out and how it sort of aids a lot of
Yeah.
different things and different people really.
Yeah. I think for me, something like the call screening feature, I
Yeah.
don't get a lot of scam phone calls nowadays. I
Mm,
think I've done
yeah.
quite well with it. I kind of get my numbers delisted as many places as I can get them delisted from.
Yes. Yeah,
But you still do get a few every now and again. And
you do. Yeah,
especially
I
for
do.
the average consumer as well, a lot
Hmm.
of people receive scam phone calls. And if you can say
Yeah.
suspected scam at the top of it and then see
Yeah.
so and so calling from, I don't know, so and so insurance or whatever it is, like it means that
Yeah.
you, I don't know, grandma or your mum or dad or whatever like that, when they see that come up on their phone, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a suspected scam. I'm not going to answer that.
Safer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much safer
Yeah,
for these people
definitely.
going forward. So
It is.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing how that works and if it's
Hmm.
effective as well.
Yeah, me
Um,
too. Yeah, that'd be good.
but yeah, I think lots of good developments, and I'm
Mm.
excited to see as this develops as well over the coming months. Because whilst they've announced some of these new features now, like they announced last year with the deeper AI Siri integration that they're still working on because they didn't meet their
Yeah.
quality tests, there will be some things that may drop off, some things that may be added in as well as we near
Hmm.
closer to the next iPhone release later this year,
Yeah.
which I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to the next iPhone release because, well, I just like keeping up with
I
the
need an
latest
upgrade
tech.
as well, to be
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. I'm
for,
ready for the
for
new I'm
us
ready
as
for a new
well,
one.
like taking photos and videos on our phones, like at events and stuff like that, it becomes
Yeah.
second nature. Like most of the stuff, if I was to go into my camera roll now, is probably from like work events and networking events. So
Same.
just having more storage or a better quality camera or stuff like that is,
You're talking my language, AJ.
yeah. So looking forward to that
Honestly, yeah, it'd be great. Yes,
coming
me
later
too.
this year. Now, let's move on to today's main 24 tech tips topic. There's lots of D's in there. But let's start off with this. Stacey, do you have any holidays coming up? Have you been anywhere so far this year or anything like that?
So I've not been away yet because our show is in July.
Yep.
So it's
Busy,
been
busy,
all
busy.
hands to the pump. I am going to be taking a holiday after the show. I'm going to need probably about a month off after all the work we've put in. But I've also booked Lapland, UK, for
Ooh.
my daughters. Yeah, which is it costs about as much as going abroad,
Yeah. Just as
for
much
a
as going
day.
to Lapland.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But obviously that was booked online.
Yeah.
And we queued for quite a while for those tickets.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
something we've
I'm going
debated
to be booking
actually.
something else, but yeah, I'm looking for. I think it's going to be the last year that my 9-year-old sort of believes as such. So it's
Yeah.
definitely a timely day.
My
Yeah, I'm
son
looking forward
is
to it.
10 and we're like, he's like on the cusp. It's like, we
Yeah,
know he's suspecting, and like even his school
bad, isn't
friends
it?
now, like,
Yeah,
I don't know whether he's now keeping up the appearances for his sister who's
yeah.
younger.
Oh,
Um,
that's cute.
but yeah, I think like at the
At
most
that
we've got
age is
until,
sort of
yeah, at
mm,
most we've got this Christmas and then that'll be it, I think. So
yeah.
we will
That's why we're
see.
doing it this year as well. Yeah,
Yeah, but we always try to do things around like the Christmas holidays. We do things like
yeah,
Santa Special Steam Train and stuff like that.
yeah.
Panto, of course, is an annual staple nowadays.
Mono
But
Express is good. Yeah.
yeah. But speaking of holidays, did you know that during public holidays and especially summer holidays and school holidays, that cyber attacks on UK businesses actually increased by about 30%? Um,
Wow.
this is actually for a range of different reasons. So people and businesses are often unprepared and don't have the right processes in place, like we were speaking about before, to protect
Yeah.
remote users and remote devices. But similarly, like I was talking about with the Linus Tech Tips attack, people are often unprepared or maybe not watching out or not as vigilant as they would usually be for cyber attacks,
Mm,
such as phishing, when they're on holiday or
mm,
when they're doing other things. I mean, I suppose the reality is we're only human, and humans are the weakest link in any cybersecurity strategy. But for businesses, it's important to ensure that you have modern cybersecurity solutions in place, like managed endpoint detection and response on user devices, as well as
mm,
ensuring emails are protected, for example, with an AI powered solution like Active Email Threat Protection, which monitors for phishing and unusual requests, even attachments and links that are included in them as well.
mm,
But also things like impossible location tracking as well, to be able to ensure that if you log in at some point from some place in the UK and then all of a sudden, oh, you're logging in from Spain or China or Russia or somewhere else, like, is it realistic for you to be able to travel to that location, and does that look suspicious? And it will
mm.
be able to protect against those sorts of things. But also the
Yeah.
things like multi-factor authentication, so having some form of code or prompt that you receive on your phone that you then have to scan your face to be able to authorize that it's you. I mean,
Mhm.
I suppose one of the other things that people don't think when they're traveling as well, and maybe this is a question for yourself. If you go to a hotel, an airport, restaurant, cafe, and any sort of place that you go, do you find yourself connecting to public Wi-Fi when you go to these places?
Yes.
Yeah,
Simple answer.
yeah,
Yeah. And even on trains and things as well,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, especially with our line of work, it doesn't stop
Yeah.
and you need to be online.
Especially like
So
if you're in an
yeah,
event hall like the NEC or like Excel in
yeah,
London and different places like that, signal
yeah.
in those places is quite poor quite a lot of the
Hmm.
times. They've improved it more in recent years, but you still
Yeah,
end up hopping onto public Wi-Fi. But
yeah.
most people don't know that public Wi-Fi can itself actually be compromised with things
Hmm.
like a man-in-the-middle attack, where people could be monitoring or intercepting activity on a Wi-Fi network, or even for insecure devices, being able to target an attack on those devices as well. I mean, when we
Mm.
had the Doncaster Business Showcase earlier this year, we
Yeah.
actually had a couple of people who were exhibiting come up to us and say, can we piggyback off of your secure Wi-Fi? Because we've been told we cannot use the public Wi-Fi at the show, and rightly so. But we made sure that we brought a firewall with us to use on a mobile network connection. And people are like, yeah, can we borrow that? Because we need to be able to show secure information. So it's good that people are concerned, but a lot of people don't think about that. Like, public Wi-Fi actually isn't that secure. I mean, personally, I use a proxy VPN service, which makes it look like I'm in a different location. But that forms this kind of encrypted tunnel around all of my internet traffic, and all of my data goes through that, so no one can like peek inside or anything like that. Maybe that's just me being paranoid, but it's just another way to be able to protect myself. Yeah, exactly. Keep all of my data safe. But I suppose another one is, do you charge your phone in public locations?
I personally don't.
No?
But I know a lot of people that do.
Yeah. See,
so
one thing that kind of came out a couple of years ago, and there was a big news story where the FBI had kind of issued this kind of statement to US citizens, like, if you're going to an airport, use your own charger, use your own cable, because people were using something called an OMG cable, or a replacement port on a wall or something like that, for people to plug a cable in, or we plug one of their cables in, plug it into their phone, but the cable itself was compromised. So that was actually allowing people to be able to, these cyber criminals, to attack a phone or upload things onto a phone or steal data off of it. A lot of people don't know that these sorts of things could be a risk. And I mean, I always say to people, look, in my travel bag, which I keep at the side of me in the office for if I'm just coming to work or if I'm going out anywhere, I keep a portable charger in there. I keep a spare plug in there, spare cables in there. I would rather use my own cables that I know are safe and secure than go borrowing a cable that's plugged into a wall somewhere and worrying, okay, now my phone or my laptop or whatever is compromised because people have just left that there hoping people would pick it up. It's like the USB rubber ducky, which just a little USB stick. It looks like a USB stick, although I've put a sticker on this one. But it's just a USB stick for most people. But this can be programmed to be able to grant remote access to a computer, or it can be programmed to steal data off of someone's computer. All it takes is plugging it in. And if people don't have the right security in place, that sort of thing could compromise an entire business.
Easily as well.
Yeah, it's scary how many businesses and people don't have the right security in place to protect against those sorts of attack. But even like, I almost pulled this person up on this. So I went to a cafe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it was. And, you know, people go to cafes in the middle of the working day, especially if they're working remotely. They'll have the laptop with them. They'll have the phone with them. Well, of course, if you're in a cafe for an extended period of time, you probably need to go to the loo at some point or another. But this person had left their laptop unlocked with their phone next to their laptop, open in a public space. There was no automatic screen lockout policy on it. There was no two-factor authentication or anything like that. She had left it unlocked on a table, and I was sat right next to it, and I was like,
that's just craziness.
I could see any information that was on the screen. If I had something like this rubber ducky, it would have taken seconds. Just plug it in, steal the data off of it.
Like, you could just take in the laptop.
Yeah, just walking away with it.
She clearly wasn't thinking securely, was she? No. At all.
But many businesses don't have the right policies in place to be able to educate their users and protect them about these sorts of things. Like even just a simple screen lockout policy that says, after 30 seconds of inactivity, lock the screen or something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be 30 seconds, it could be anything, but still, it's like, it makes you wonder how some of these businesses aren't attacked sooner than they maybe are in some cases. I mean,
technology is great, isn't it? But it is probably the easiest way for somebody to attack us as well. And it's, I mean, I can't get over the fact that she just left everything open for the world to see, to be honest.
I almost turned around to her and said, you do realise that I could have stolen all of the data off of your laptop? And I was like, no, I'm going to leave it, because that just sounds like I'm being like really like aggressive almost. I was just like, no, I'll use it for a story at a later point.
Funny neck. No, that's just silly.
Yeah.
Silly.
But I mean, if anyone wants to find out more about some of these cybersecurity risks, especially around summer holidays coming up and things like that, and how
Yeah.
both you and your business can stay more safe and secure, over on the 24 IT website, we do have an entire article dedicated to this. It's not the article from this week, it's the one from last week. So go to 20-4, the words, .it. Head over to the news or insights section at the top of the page, and it's the second news story along, which is the cybersecurity tips when traveling this summer. I mean, I suppose a question for yourself: do you know anyone who's ever had any cybersecurity or financial security issues when they've been traveling? I mean, I've seen a lot of stories recently about people when they've been abroad and card reader scams. Like they've gone to pay at a restaurant and then someone's taken the card away. Like, oh yeah,
Yes.
we'll pay for this, and then they come, oh no, your card's not working. Can you try on this one
Mhm.
instead? And then that person's then gone away, scanned that card, then using that for financial fraud. I mean, have you ever come
Yeah.
across anything like this, either yourself or any friends or people that you know?
Yeah, family members.
Yeah.
They went to Barcelona and the cards got exactly what
Oh,
you just said, basically. Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
yeah.
Um, they found a lot of information out about them as well in terms of the
Really?
hotel where they were staying and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was quite scary to be honest. Me personally, no, I've been lucky, touch wood, it never happens. But I mean, this person in question is really sort of tech savvy and thought they had every base covered. And it just shows you how intelligent the other side are,
Yeah.
so to speak. And it is scary. And yes, I think, I for one is going to, log onto your website and read some of the
Yeah.
articles because although I work in digital marketing, I'm online a lot, I think I've still got a hell of a lot to learn as well.
Yeah.
So people that don't work and aren't necessarily as sort of tech savvy as myself are going to be even more sort of further behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going to be looking up every single thing and
Well, we
making
have
sure that I'm
plenty
safe
of
and my family's safe.
articles. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have plenty of educational articles. And also, we talk about it all the time, of course, on this podcast. We've
yeah,
got social
yeah,
media posts that we share across LinkedIn and other social media platforms as well, giving a
yeah,
lot of these tips and ways
yeah.
to be able to stay safe online. I see, looking at the chat over here, we've got David from Club Doncaster talking about using the VPN for watching 3 p.m. kickoffs on a Saturday, isn't it? I'm like, well, I'm not really a big football fan, but for VPN for myself, I subscribe to a platform called MLB TV. I'm a huge baseball fan, and some of the games, even for international users, you still
Mm,
need to be shown as being in a particular state. So I'll sometimes
right.
move over to that state when I want to be able to watch games in that state. But
Yeah,
they're really good to be able to use those sorts of things, as well as encrypting and making your data private as well. So lots of great articles over on our website, tips and
yeah.
tricks like that as well. Again, make sure to stay tuned to all of our socials and videos. We've got YouTube, TikTok, and the like as well. So feel free to check out any of that when you get a chance.
I will do.
But one of the reasons that we've tried to bring on a different guest each week is that we tried to highlight the brilliant work that businesses across the local region, as well as throughout the UK, are doing. And
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to yourself today, and you were going to be in the schedule for coming on eventually anyway. It just so happened to be that we had a spot open up today.
Yeah,
But I want to speak to you about the work that you're doing with the National Grassroots Sports Show. So can
yeah.
you tell us a little bit more about the event, how it all came to be, and what we've got coming up? Because it's not far away now, is it?
No, it's 39 days. Not that I'm counting or
Wow.
anything, but it's
Have you got
yeah.
something on the
So
wall like 39 days to go?
I actually have AJ as well. I'm not going to show you the office, but yeah, I have literally on a whiteboard every day. I'm counting down. It's crazy.
Brilliant.
So yeah, you sort of touched on the fact that I'm love football. I play, I coach.
Yeah.
My daughter plays. So I'm very sort of integrated in the grassroots football
Yeah.
market. So when the founder of the National Grassroots Show, Louise Presswich, approached me, I was like, oh my God, it's literally like my dream job. It's been written in the stars. I can't
I
wait.
remember you saying that you'd
Yeah,
found like your dream role when you'd post it on LinkedIn. I was like,
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to find out what this, because I'd seen you at the Austin Banks event for their like
yeah,
birthday celebrations. You're
yeah,
like, I'm not saying
yeah,
anything. I'm not saying
yeah,
anything.
yeah. So I joined the team back in November for the National Grassroots Sports Show Football Edition. So basically, we're taking a big, massive national, we're a bit crazy, event to the NEC on the 19th and 20th of July. And it's basically a 2-day event to celebrate everything grassroots football. So it's, the people that are coming. So we've got coaches, we've got players, we've got referees, we've got volunteers. It could be, Jimmy the groundsman, it could be, a treasurer, anybody and everybody involved in grassroots football coming under one roof to celebrate the grassroots community ultimately. So across the weekend we've got main stage speakers. We've got Mike Phelan, who I'm absolutely buzzing about because I'm a Man United fan, and he's actually an absolutely amazing guy. We've got Cameron Jerome, so any sort of Norwich fans, there's big names from across the world of football, whether it be grassroots, professional, semi-pro, all coming to sort of speak to our event attendees. We're doing coaching seminars, so any coaches can come along and actually learn hints and tips, learn how to use a defibrillator, and which ultimately could be life-saving. Sort of take it back to their grassroots teams and sort of roll out all those hints and tips. We've got practical workshops from ex-professionals, whether you be a striker, a midfielder, a goalkeeper, you can come and learn from the best. We've got a large-scale exhibition. We've got a demo area where you can come and sort of showcase your own skills. 2-day tournament. We've got everything under one roof.
That sounds absolutely awesome. Are there many local businesses that are involved in it as well?
So we're obviously based in Doncaster, and we've got literally companies from across the UK. We've even got teams coming from Jersey, coming across. So it literally is nationwide, and it's startup businesses right through to Samba Sports. Mike Phelan coaching, who I've mentioned as well. So we're wanting to sort of celebrate everyone and everything within grassroots sports across that weekend. So as a football fan, I'm literally my target market. So I'm so excited for it. And we've also got a Euros fan zone as well, so hopefully the Lionesses are still going to be in the Euros over that weekend as well. So it'll just be such an amazing weekend, fun, education, you name it, all under one roof. So really excited.
Whilst this year is going to have a primary focus around grassroots football, of course, 24 IT, we're one of the headline sponsors of Doncaster Knights. We support their training and leisure wear kit. We have a box out there. In future years, do you plan on moving out to other sports throughout the UK as well? So rugby union, rugby league, and other sports as well. Cricket even. We also sponsor To Kill Cricket Club. We're doing a lot of sponsorships at the moment. I'll put it that way.
Let's get on board with the show next year, because we are literally rolling it out. I think we're going to be doing 7 sports next year.
Wow.
All grassroots level. So football predominantly. Rugby, cricket, hockey, netball, boxing, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. But we're literally, next year is going to be even bigger and better.
That the reason we went with football. Amazing.
The reason we might even look into baseball, AJ, so you can come along. You never know.
I would love that. I would be there in my baseball jersey, one of my many caps, of course.
You would. We're going to have to sort your grassroots show cap out, aren't we?
Well, if you have one, I will wear it proudly.
Not yet, but
I'll feature it in the background. In fact, you can't see it.
Out.
I was going to say I'll feature it in the background with all of my other caps, but
I can imagine the pile.
Yes, I think it's close to about 150 caps total now. Not all of them in the office. That wouldn't all fit in the office.
You're like me in pens. I'm a stationery queen, but you're the hat guy. Definitely.
Definitely.
You are the cat man.
I picked up this one at a show the other week. I've got my headphones on, otherwise I'd take it off. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 isn't a password.
Oh gosh. That's quite apt, that actually, isn't it?
You would be surprised, but that is actually one of the most commonly used passwords in the annual vulnerability report or something like that. How people even allow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be a password nowadays, or even password 1 or password 1, 2, 3, how that is still allowed these days, I have no idea, but people still use it.
Crazy. I think even when people get an alert to say, oh, you need to change your password, it's it's potentially at risk. They'll literally just swap out one thing, and it's like, come on, guys. You need to make it harder for people.
So
But
what
yeah,
date and location is it again, just so people can put it in the calendars if they want to be able to head over to this
yeah,
year's National Grassroots Sports Show?
yeah. So it's the 19th and 20th of July. It's at Birmingham's NEC.
Yep,
And the NEC is the perfect location because it's within a 3-hour travel time for 85% of the population.
yep,
So it's centre of the country. It's the perfect
yep.
location. You
Good for
can drive
public
to it, you can
transport
get the
as well.
train.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, it's perfect. And yeah, it's literally everything under one roof. Fun, education, and get to meet some of the ex-pros and
yeah.
potentials of the future.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people from the local region who will be heading across to that as well.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
see
great.
David in the chat over on LinkedIn. David, you best be going to this event if you're here.
He better
Yeah.
be. Yeah. I know where to find him if not.
Yeah, I know that someone like Ant from DSOC could probably be interested in something like this. I know he's heavily into his
Nice.
grassroots football as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan over on LinkedIn has popped the website if people want to be able to find out more about that. And on other
Thank
platforms, I will
you.
be making sure to include that in the comments as well.
Brilliant.
So if
Thank
you
you
want to
very much.
find out more and sign up, bleeding, I'll get my words mixed up there. Um, make sure to head across, and yeah, I wish you all the best with it. And I'm looking forward to
Thank
next year
you.
because it'd be good to be involved in some of the like rugby
Yes,
union stuff from the Doncaster Knights side and stuff like that as well. So
definitely. Yeah, we'll get
really,
you
really
involved.
looking forward to that. Let me know how it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the
I
photos.
will do. I
Um,
will do.
but thank you very much for joining me today and for
No,
filling
thanks
in
for
so
having me
last
on.
minute.
Super
Um,
sub. That's me.
yeah, exactly. Always welcome back if you want to come back again in the future.
Thank
I
you.
expect that there will be another one closer this time next year when you'll be talking about next year's event as well.
And
So,
all the sports we've got involved. Yeah,
exactly,
definitely.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, there isn't a new show this next week because I actually found out only a couple of days back that I'm actually headed over to an industry event this next week, which looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be sharing some content from that, but I won't be actually around the Doncaster area next week, so I won't be able to do a new show. But I will be back next time where our guest is planning to be Mark from Automated Analytics, where we're talking a lot about AI and different things like that. There's lots of AI talk going to be going on in that show, so really, really looking forward to it. But thank you again, Stacey, for joining us
No,
today,
thank
and thank
you.
you for telling us all about the National Grassroots Sports Show and talking AI and tech and Apple and things like that with me.
I've
Um,
learned a lot, AJ, actually. So
thank
I'm
you.
chuffed to bits. I'm going to be reading your website as well in about 10 minutes.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you very much. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I suppose I'll see people at events in the not too distant future. See you later, guys.
Take care.